Rohingya refugees are being sent to Balukhali camps on Thursday and Friday. Meanwhile, biometric registration of Rohingya people in camps at Ukia and Teknaf is underway with food and medical aid among the destitute people. Bangladesh has decided to seek support from the Commonwealth's countries and effort to help resolve the unfolding Rohingya crisis. Bangladesh Parliament Speaker and 63rd CP Executive Committee Chairperson Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhary made the announcement on the third day of the CPA conference in Dhaka. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina is due to inaugurate the event officially on Sunday, November 4. Bangladesh Speaker said that most of the CPA guests are expected to arrive in Dhaka by Saturday. She also said Rohingya refugee issue is being included in conference agenda following talks among member states.
এই বিষয়টির গুরুত্ব বিবেচনা করে জনপ্রতিনিধিদেরকে এই বিষয়টি সম্পর্কে অবহিত করা, তাদের সমর্থন পাওয়ার লক্ষ্যে আমরা এই রোহিঙ্গা ব্রিফিংটি বিশেষ কম্পোনেন্ট হিসেবে এখানে অন্তর্ভুক্ত করেছি।
Myanmar must grant citizenship to the Rohingya to allow thousands of people from the Muslim minority to return to Rakhine State from where they were driven by an army campaign, the UN Refugee Chief Filippo Grandi said in a statement. Rohingya people cannot remain stateless because this statelessness exposes them to discrimination and abuse, and has been the case in the past, said the UN high official. Aside from recognizing the Rohingya as citizens, the government must also agree on a development program for Rakhine State, said Grandi. The violence has to stop and humanitarian aid workers must be given access to Rakhine to reach those in need, Grandi said. Myanmar authorities are in talks with the UN World Food Programme to resume food deliveries in Rakhine, but details on the relief effort have yet to ironed out, he added. Senior U.S. Republican and Democratic lawmakers proposed targeted sanctions and travel restrictions on Myanmar military officials on Thursday over the treatment of the country's Rohingya Muslim minority, one of the strongest efforts yet for Washington to intervene in the humanitarian crisis. This bill was announced the day before President Donald Trump leaves on his first trip to Asia since taking office. The legislation would reimpose some sanctions lifted last year as Myanmar returned to democracy. The legislation told that Myanmar army has committed crimes against humanity. It would bar the U.S. from supplying most assistance to the country's military. The measure does not target Burmese leader Aung San Suu Kyi, head of Myanmar civilian-led government. At least 3 million people worldwide are stateless, most of the minorities a status that deprives them of an identity, rights and often jobs, the United Nations Refugee Agency said on Friday. In a report, Stateless Minorities and Their Search for Citizenship, the UN Refugees Agency called on governments to end the discriminatory practice by 2024.
If you live in a world without a nationality, you are without an identity, you're without documentation. Statelessness amplifies the fear in which many minorities live. So it is, if you like, a lose-lose situation. So we do need to resolve this problem in order to not only resolve displacement, but to address and resolve one of the root elements of displacement.
Today marks the jail killing day. The nation is observing the 42nd anniversary of the bitter legacy and disgrace of Bangladesh history. The four national leaders, Saeed Nazrul Islam, Tajuddin Ahmed, A.H.M. Kamruzaman and M. Mansoor Ali were shot dead at the then Dhaka jail on this day in 1975. President Abdul Hamid and Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina issued separate messages marking the day. The killers sought to establish undemocratic autocracy, driving out the spirit of the liberation war from Bangladesh, but the miscreants could not get through, they said in their messages. Marking the day, various political and social organizations have arranged a number of events across the country. General Secretary of Awami League and Minister for Road Transport and Bridges Abadul Qadir placed a wreath at Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman Memorial Museum at Dhanmondi this morning on behalf of Awami League leaders, and workers were also at the occasion. Kadir, accompanied by other party leaders, paid tribute to the 15th August victims and foreign national leaders after paying respect at the portrait of Bangabandhu. Obaidul Qadir said to the media that the murderers are still operative. Meanwhile, State Minister for Foreign Affairs Shahriar Alam said on Friday that efforts are being made by the Prime Minister to extradite and bring back the persons responsible for the jail-killing murders of national leaders. The junior minister was speaking at an event in Rajshahi this morning in observance of the historic jail-killing day.
দেশে তারা আশ্রিত হয়ে আছে, সেই দেশের আভ্যন্তরীণ আইন তাদেরকে সেখানে নিরাপদ আশ্রয় রেখেছে। কিন্তু আপনারা দেখেছেন মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রী থেকে শুরু করে এবং অনেক কিছু যেগুলি দেখাও যেন ওয়ার্কিং লেভেলে আমরা এটা নিয়ে কাজ করছি। একাধিক রাষ্ট্রে কিছু ভালো খবর আছে যেগুলি আমরা বিস্তারিত বলতে চাই না, কিন্তু আমরা প্রত্যাশা করি এবং আমরা বিশ্বাস করি যে আমরা তাদেরকে ফিরিয়ে আনতে পারবো এবং বিচারের রায় কার্যকর করতে পারবো শীঘ্রই।
BNP Standing Committee member Barrister Maudud Ahmed on Friday stated that opposition BNP will contest in the next parliamentary polls. The BNP veteran, in a strongly worded statement, warned the government that if it does not come to a negotiated compromise over the election, the country would witness a revolution of mass uprising. He said this while addressing a discussion event at the National Press Club this morning.
বাংলাদেশ জাতীয়তাবাদী দল যদি সে নির্বাচনে অংশগ্রহণ না করে, এবার নির্বাচন আমরা করব, আপনারা প্রস্তুত হন সবাই, এবং এই নির্বাচনে গণজোয়ার হবে। যদি সমঝোতায় না আসেন, বাংলাদেশের মাটিতে গণবিস্ফোরণ ঘটবে।
Now, international news. Hours before U.S. President Donald Trump leaves for a five-nation Asia tour on Friday, U.S. National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster told reporters at a briefing in Washington that the president recognizes that the global community was running out of time to deal with North Korea. McMaster said one of the major goals of Trump's visit to Asia will be to rally allies to pursue denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula.
The president